going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we got this old body style Chevy pickup in on the dyno to get dialed in. It has a 5.3 liter LS with a BTR Truck Norris camshaft. Nice little street cam. This truck here has 3 pedals and a stick shift. Give you a little shot under the hood here. We're gonna get this baby strapped down, pull the file out of this truck, and see what we're working with. I'm gonna show what changes I make to get the ball rolling here to get started. I'm gonna set up like so. Going into idle, get our base set points here. Starting at 950 at -40, tapering to 800 RPM, fully warmed up. Going into airflow here, our base running airflow. We've added a couple grams per second. Same goes for our startup airflow. We added 20%. From our MAF table, we pulled 10% across the board. In fuel here, we have our long-term fuel trims disabled. Into power enrichment, we have our throttle position to enable power enrichment. Bring that down to 70, anything over 3000 RPM. Remove our delay from 5000 down to 1000. And for a power enrichment EQ ratio, we have 1.125, which divided by 14.7 stoic brings us to a 13.0. As far as temperature control goes, we disable our cat over temp. Cutoff, we have our rev limiter set to where the customer would like it. Spark table, able to bring down timing a lot in our cruise and idle areas. An increase of cylinder pressure with the camshaft. Our wide open throttle timing, we're able to sprinkle a little more in. Basically take this 22 degrees and interpolate the 22 down. That's a good safe number on pump gas here with a naturally aspirated setup. All of our multipliers we've reduced to 0. The additional timing it was going to add in these cells, and making it not pull timing quite as aggressively. Our low octane table is our high octane table, copy and pasted over with about 30% removed, giving us wide open throttle timing in the teens. Gonna now open our scanner and see what we got for codes in this thing and go through the DTC list. See what can be done about those. I'm going to save this as revised. Now write the file to the ECU. Now with our file loaded in, cycle the key, fire this thing up and see how it responded to our changes. Going, get an idea of where our fuel trims are at. Pulling quite a bit of fuel here, so I'm also noticing timing is quite low as well. Take a look at what our idle spark is at and probably remove a little more fuel from the MAF. Idle spark here, both in gear and in park neutral. Pink cells here is where we are idling, and they were more in the single digits like here. With the camshaft, we're going from idling up in these, say, 20 gram cylinders, more in the 30 range. So interpolating these numbers downward to get us the actual value that should be idling at to get a nice strong healthy idle with the camshaft like such. Then we'll also go back to our MAF table. We were pulling 20%, so we will multiply this by 0.8. That at first glance actually looks a lot more like what I'm used to seeing. Save this. Key back on, make sure we're disconnected from our scanner, and write the calibration. Now with a quick little base tune on it, it's time to get this thing strapped down, start seeing what our air-fuel ratios are at, see how she goes through the gears, and see what it baselines for power. Okay, all's connected. Drop her in gear, turn off the brake. Started and go through the gears, see what we got for air fuels. Have no response from our O2 sensor. Changes and a change of O2 sensor. There we go. I think we had a speed limiter there. Just shy of 120 mile an hour. We got some work to do. Okay, we upped our limiters here. They were only set at 98 miles an hour. That makes a lot of sense. Something that's often overlooked. Dyno seems to reveal that pretty quick. We're at. Proper air fuel that time, 302, 329. Not too shabby. 12.2, we can afford to go leaner. Very nice, very nice. 12.0. Alright. Let's get this thing in the 13s and probably pick up another 20 wheel yet. Making a healthy 336. The only thing we're trying to address is this lean spike here, rolling into the throttle. We worked the MAF table and the VE table a little bit, trying to get a little more enrichment here in these lower RPM, high map areas. So we loaded those changes and we'll see what happens. Kept on massaging our VE and we are pretty near zero fuel trims. -1, 0. Fattened up this range here, anything from like 90 kPa and up, below 3,500 RPM or so. Admittedly, I haven't had to do that on previous setups, but every setup's different. Now with this thing off the dyno, we got one little drivability quirk we gotta work out here. Back over the shop and I'll show you how to take care of that. Throttle cracker airflow. Our factory values here of fraction of a gram per second. Interpolate the 1.7 upward, and then this from the 1600 column over. And it gives it a little bit more help while returning to idle with vehicle speed without it really affecting much else. Load those changes in there and show you how it goes back to a stop. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one.